I'm here.
Hey, he's here. He's back.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Ready to
That's
get
all
to
that.
this episode? You're not going to explain why you were gone. You're just going to say sorry.
Yeah, I had a family emergency, put it that way. So, but yeah, I'm here now. So,
Yay. Let's get to it.
yes, sir.
Let's start with Rampage. And unlike every other Rampage, Rampage was actually good because there were matches for the Continental Classic happening in this show. And it started
Those
off with,
matches I feel like fit perfectly for this show because this show is like nothing but wrestling, like we always say. There's no story behind it per se. That's
Mhm.
kind of what these matches are. If it's a tournament, there's a story behind that, but Shelton Benjamin versus Kyle Fletcher, for example, there's not much of a story there other than fucking the tournament. That's what most of these matches are.
started off with Okada versus Mark Briscoe. And of course Okada won. But the thing that fucking made me laugh was the announcers kept saying, these guys are going to have a turnaround because they're going to have a match tomorrow night on Collision. And I'm like, this was taped on Wednesday. There's a long time between then and Collision. But they kept saying it. And then, like, later on, they forgot one person was wrestling the next day and they just, like, yeah, he's got a match that's happening tomorrow. And then Tony Schiavone was like, he also has a match that's happening tomorrow. I was like, oh shit, oh, my bad. So then Chris Jericho was on commentary and he basically ran down New York and said blah blah blah, and Matt Cardona came out. I talked about it last week on stream. I mean, on a podcast about, man, this makes no sense. I hate it. This is literally Vince McMahon levels bullshit. I'm not gonna go into it again, but whatever. Like Matt Cardona is gonna face Chris Jericho at the pay per view. Not gonna get into it. This is Vince McMahon level bullshit. That's all.
Okay.
So then we had Daniel Garcia versus the Beast Mortos, and Danny Garcia beat the Beast Mortos. So Danny got more points in the Continental Classic,
How
which
far do you think he's gonna get?
I mean, I, I don't know. Considering what happened on Collision, I don't think it's real far, but eh, that's all
Okay.
I can say is eh, because I felt like he should have done more, but whatever.
Yeah.
So then we had Vendetta, which is basically Diana Parazzo and Talia Valkyrie. They took on two women and they beat them. Okay,
Simple as that.
so then we had a nice this match. If you watch this match, you would know what I say has been true the whole time and why I don't get the hype of some people hyping up certain other people when you watch this match and you're like, huh, this is a little crazy because it was Commander versus Ricochet. And you're watching Commander do all of this shit, and then you're watching Ricochet follow him up, but Ricochet is not like killing it. Like, so it's like, uh, okay. It just had me like, well, Ricochet is getting lapped by all these guys, even though he said his style is the reason that AEW exists.
I read that. That pissed me off.
Wait, why did that piss you off?
I was like, no, 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 just no. That was like a poor comment in my opinion. He's getting a little bit too
Explain.
cocky.
Okay, explain why you don't think that his style created AEW or inspired them to create AEW.
Like. First thing, I read something different. I didn't read it was his style. I read because of him, like AEW started. And no, absolutely not. And like
Okay, I mean,
I wouldn't consider it his style. That's the lucha style. Don't lay claim to a style that you didn't start. Like the way it comes across, like he started that style.
but to him, he made it more popular and palatable in the U.S.
As much as I don't like him, Rey Mysterio brought that here.
I know, but he's considering it for the newer guys.
Okay, there's a lot of other guys that did that style too. Like no,
Listen, I'm not fighting them because I don't listen. I don't care because like there's so much other better shit to worry about, but I don't care. Like he said it, and I was like, oh, okay, good. He said something out of his mouth. I don't really care. Like I don't care. It
yeah,
didn't bother me one way or the other. So that
moving
was
on.
that. So then we had Darby versus Commander, and for a second I was like, what if they let Commander win? But Darby beat him.
Finally,
So
Darby's on the fucking board.
yes. So then we had a backstage thing with Will Hobbs and Takeshita. And Will Hobbs said, yo, I want that title. Because Don Callis was trying to get him back in the family. He was like, no, I'm not doing that. You guys didn't give a fuck about me. I don't give a fuck about you guys. Takeshita, I want that title. And Don was like, no, 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 no. We're not going to have that happen. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. And he just like kind of shoot him off. But yeah, that seems like that's going to happen.
I kind of want him to get it, even though I love Takeshita. I kind of want Will to get it.
We'll see. So then we had in the Dynasty Women's Tournament, we had Willow versus Serena Deeb. And Willow beat Serena Deeb, so that means next week, I think it is. Next week is going to be Willow versus Jamie Hayter in the semifinals, I think it is, of the
Yeah,
tournament.
to my understanding, it's the semifinals next week. Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be either Willow or Jamie going to Japan. And then we had Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa basically said, whoever wins between Mariah and Mina, I'm coming for that title.
Okay, I'm not opposed to it.
Me neither. Then we had the MWO. And Moxley came out there and he said, Hangman, he said, you don't deserve to be in this thing. Jay White, you're nothing. And Orange Cassidy, I beat you. And the next time we have beef, I'm going to take you off the board. So Orange comes out and was like, listen, man. He's like, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat the shit out of you and I'm going to take that title. But you know what happened?
They beat the fuck out of him.
They beat the fuck out of him and took him out. Like they literally beat the fuck out of him and grabbed him by his feet and took him out. And FTR came and stopped the MWO from actually murdering Orange Cassidy. So they saved him. So I guess that's going to be like a six-man match. I guess sometime soon.
I guess.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see why because Jay White and Hangman should have been the people to save him,
Yeah,
and then like that would have been more interesting. But whatever.
it's FTR feels random.
It does. It feels like completely random, and it just like feel like they just threw in there
Yeah,
because like there's nothing that they're trying to get from them. They don't have the tag titles. It's nothing that they're winning from it. It doesn't mean anything. It's just it's just something that happened.
exactly.
So then we had Kyle Fletcher versus Okada in the Continental Classic, and Kyle Fletcher is undefeated in the Continental Classic and with 9 points because he beat Okada.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I
Good for
was.
him.
Yeah, it's definitely good for him because everybody was saying after he won against Osprey, they was like, he's in the Continental Classic, he should win the whole thing. I hope that they do something with him. I don't have a lot of faith. Like, oh my God, they're gonna do this. I don't have a lot of faith. I'll wait and see. But it would be dope if he did.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if they both make it to the finals and like Will beats him or something.
That probably will happen, but I don't want it.
Me neither.
So then we had the Beast Mortals versus Solo Aaron, which
What
is
the
Aaron
fuck?
Solo. Yeah. So, just like I brought up on the last pod, we had Leo in Action Andretti get confronted by the rest of Top Flight Security. And they're like, yo, what the fuck is going on with you guys? Like, you guys threw us out of the Battle Royal. What the fuck is happening? And Leo in Action Andretti goes, well, you guys, we told you you need to change. You need to step up. You guys won't step up. So we stepped up. And they just left. And I was like, oh, okay, well, because that's cool.
They dressing alike like now too. Like they seem like a team onto themselves, which we called. So
Yes. And I mentioned that on the last podcast that they were dressed like in the Battle Royal and they have been taking pictures together and doing things as a team.
oh okay.
So then we had Emi Sakura versus Mina Shirakawa. And Mina Shirakawa beat Emi Sakura, but in the crowd was Thunder Rosa. Because Thunder Rosa is watching Mina Shirakawa because she wants to be world champion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I understand that. That's pretty, it is what it is. So they did a nice little video package for Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. I liked it. It was really fun. And then we get to the main event. Daniel Garcia versus Mark Briscoe. And I'm not even joking. I literally went into this match going, oh, Mark Briscoe's going to take another loss. Okay,
Me
cool.
too. Same.
And then that's not what happened. Mark Briscoe did not lose. He beat Daniel Garcia.
Because remember how terrible he did in the last tournament? Like I thought that's gonna be the sequel to that shit.
If they go by G1 rules, which I hope they do, would mean that because Mark Briscoe pinned Daniel Garcia, he should be able to get a shot at the TNT title.
Good. Yeah, 100%.
But
Then
I don't know
again,
if they'll.
no, never mind. I
Huh?
was gonna say, isn't he the Ring of Honor champion? But yeah, never mind that. I don't want to bring that up.
Yeah, nobody wants to bring that up. That's just something we're just gonna leave out of this. Cause
I
what the
apologize.
yes, Mark Briscoe is on the board. He beat Daniel Garcia. That's kind of okay, I guess.
Yeah, surprising.
It's very surprising. They did a they did some shake-up stuff that I was like I wasn't prepared for.
Not bad at all.
But yeah, so the Continental Classic is basically taking up a lot of AEW's space, and I'm not mad at it, but when this whole thing spins out, I hope that there's stories that spin out and it makes it a thing.
100%. Especially that match you just mentioned, fucking Daniel
Hmm.
Garcia versus Mark Briscoe. That for the title, that's gonna be awesome.
Like I've been seeing a lot of discourse about criticizing AEW and how a lot of people aren't taking the criticization as criticism. They're
Hmm.
taking it as hate. And this is like it's getting awkward because the people there are bad faith people that don't like AEW and it's like, no, AEW fucking sucks. Oh, look at this, they're doing this, they're doing that. And they're
Yeah,
just like bad mouthing it and they're doing it for clicks. I get that. I understand that. I'm don't have any problem with that. There are people that does that. But when somebody's literally trying to give them advice and be like, yo, I don't like this about AEW or I don't like this about AEW, don't just dismiss it like, oh, you're one of the bad faith guys. You don't like AEW for this. And it's starting to become a trend because there's certain aggregators that literally will hang on to that saying, like it's just bad faith people. And it's like, no, these are people trying to give criticism of what they don't like about AEW and what AEW should change and would probably get them more viewers. And they're like, no, no, no. It's just a bunch of bad faith actors. Like, there's not really people out there that don't like AEW. It's like, do you hear yourself? Because look at the ratings, look at the fucking engagement. A lot of people aren't happy about what's going on in AEW. They're like, don't really like it. And as soon as you say something is, oh, you're a bad faith actor, you don't like AEW. And it's like, grow the fuck up. Like, grow up. And you guys are some of the most supposedly top people to talk about wrestling, and you won't grow the fuck up and let people criticize AEW. Like, if people want to say, oh, I don't like the stories, don't come at us and say, there's stories, you're just not paying attention. It's like, no. Or I don't like the way that they're structuring this. Well, you must be listening to Bischoff and Cornette. That's why you don't. No, have eyes, actually like wrestling, don't like the way they're doing stuff. It's just
Exactly.
really fucking annoying when people just like want to aggregate and be like, you know what? Most of the shit is bad faith actors. It's not really people criticizing AEW. It's like, no, people aren't happy. Just let them say something. Like, if there was more of the openness to hearing what people are saying, maybe AEW would change some stuff and be like, you know what? Maybe we should do this like this to bring back fans, and fans will be like, oh, okay, now I'm catching on. Like, they're really doing something. Yay! But you can't just like blow it off and say, bad faith actors, bad faith. It's just bad faith. It's like you're not. That's not right. Like, everything you're doing is not right. I don't like it. I don't like it. Just like let some criticism happen. It's fucking fine.
Criticism helps.
It it's just bad.
Yeah.
So that's the AEW portion of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
So let's start with SmackDown.
Yep.
So they basically start with the recap of Survivor Series, which it kind of fucked me up. I was like, wait, we haven't had a show since Survivor Series?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And they went over all the injuries. Now, we knew some of the injuries, didn't know how bad the injuries were.
Yeah.
So they talked about the Bronson Reed injury. The funny part, they talked about the Bronson Reed injury, and then they showed it. And I was like, oh,
That
he
was bad.
fucked. Yeah, like the funny part was like the internet didn't even show this. Like, people on the internet, like, they have everything. They totally didn't show this. And like when I saw it on WWE TV, I was like, holy fuck, that's bad. And then people had speculated about the Tonga Loa situation, was like, oh, he was holding his arm must have got fucked up. And then they showed CM Punk hitting his arm with the toolbox, and it wound up rupturing something in his arm, so he had to get arm surgery. So that's two people that's out. I was like, oh shit, that's kind of wild.
Yep.
And then they showed Jimmy Usos, and we know Jimmy broke his toe because they said it. They showed where he actually broke his toe, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like, War Games was dangerous.
Here's the funny part, right? Your
Hmm.
one complaint about the female war games or whatever was the weapons and all that shit. Yeah, these motherfuckers didn't need weapons to hurt each other.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ, that was crazy. So then we have Apollo Crews coming in. And he's coming in, and Solo and the Bloodline are behind him. And Solo bumps him. And Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tamatanga just beat the shit out of all these security guards. They fuck these people up. They throw people everywhere. They're just fucking them up. I was like, God damn.
They're mad.
Yeah. So Cody came out. And Cody came out and he was talking about Kevin Owens. And all of a sudden, he gets interrupted by Chad Gable and American Made. So at this point, everybody is literally like, what the fuck is this? And then they say something. And I lied to you not, they said this, and I thought they were joking because there was no evidence of this. But I swore they were joking, but this was a real thing. Michael Cole says, Chad Gable is here because it is free market or like free opportunity, and people can go between brands because they're looking to do trades. And I was like, what? Like, when did that happen? He was like, yeah, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Michael Cole? He said this was established earlier in the day, and I literally jumped on my phone, was like, all right, let me scroll. There was nothing about this earlier in the day. This literally just happened as of fucking SmackDown. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
But Michael Cole lied his ass off.
Like he lied his ass off about it being out there earlier in the day, but this is definitely a thing that was already happening. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? So Chad Gable comes in there and he basically tells Cody that he's coming to SmackDown and he wants to fight Cody. So Cody says, you know what? He was like, you can always make something work like Shorty G. And coming from somebody like me who was Stardust, I understand your pain. But you want to wrestle? How about you do it tonight? And Chad Gable goes, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to Nick Aldis and we'll do it tonight. And I was like, you know what? This probably gonna be a good match.
Yeah. They're
So,
kind of fucked up they mentioned Shorty G and fucking Stardust though. Like I was like, oh, y'all went there.
so that was the start of that. Then we seen Bianca and Naomi. And then Chelsea and Piper show up and Bianca blames Piper. She was like, yeah, I was in a match with Chelsea, but where were you, Piper? What were you doing? Did you beat up Jade? And then they get in a scuffle and they punch Bianca in her rib, which Bianca's rib is hurting because of War Games. So that was a thing. And then we get it's Tiffy time, and she comes out and right in the front row because they're in Minnesota, and that's where Tiffy's from. They show Jesse Ventura, who earlier in the day they said that Jesse Ventura will be doing commentary for Saturday night's main event.
I swear that been confirmed, but okay.
That wasn't confirmed. That was just like hearsay. This
Okay.
was a confirmation.
Good.
Now, how do you feel about that?
Mm, Like I'm okay with it. Like I wasn't hyped for enough like that. Like it's cool.
It doesn't hit a nostalgia bone in your body that says, yo, Saturday Night Main Event with Jesse Ventura sounds normal.
That's the thing though. Like I don't put too much stock into nostalgia, me personally. It's gonna be cool to have him on there, but not for nostalgia. Well, yeah, for nostalgia, but you know, like I don't care too much about nostalgia. Just the fact that the cool factor to me.
Okay, so if it was up the cool factor, Jesse Ventura would not be somebody I would pick as cool factor.
Okay.
Like the nostalgia, yes, because this is Saturday Night's Main Event, an old thing, and Jesse was on commentary. That's what piques my interest. Like, damn, they're making this feel old school, and there's a lot more shit that they're going to be doing with Saturday Night's Main Event that's going to make it more old school. So it's going to hit you if you've watched the show back in the day. It's going to hit you in the feels, and it's going to be like, oh shit. It's going to promote that response of, hey, I've watched this before, and this makes me feel like a little kid watching this. That's what it's gonna. That's what they're trying to get out of you.
Yeah.
Like I understand that, and I like that because it will work. Like it's something that's like easily there. It's fine. So as far as cool factor, I'm like it's not really cool. It's just nostalgia. Like, yeah, this is kind of how it used to be. That's it.
Okay.
So then they had a three-way with Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Elektra Lopez, and the winner moves up in the tournament. And I swore Naomi was gonna win. I really thought Naomi was gonna win, and she didn't. Tiffany won.
How about that?
And the funny part about this is like this match wasn't like, oh, this is like a little 5 minute quick match. The match is over. This match had some time. That was the crazy part. This match had some time. Elektra Lopez didn't look half bad at all.
You
This
didn't.
match had time, and this was like, whoa, this is crazy. So then we get the attack of the Street Profits. The Street Profits get attacked, so they can't have their match later on against the Motor City Machine Guns for the title. And Johnny Gargano is literally trying to smooth us over. It's like, dude, he's like, I don't know what happened. And he was like, yo, listen, can we take their spots? Nick Aldis goes, you know what? Fuck it. He's like, go ahead and take their spots. He's like, but if Champa had something to do with this, he was like, heads are gonna roll. Like, okay.
Yeah, trust Johnny. Trust Johnny.
Yeah. So that was a thing. So then we had Bianca come out because Bianca was gonna take on Piper. Once again, this was a great match. Thought it was gonna end very quickly, but they had a nice competitive back and forth. Bianca beats Piper. When she pulls Chelsea Green in the ring, she knocks her out, lays her out. She picks up Piper for the KOD. KOD's her onto Chelsea. One, two, three. Pins Chelsea. I mean, pins Piper.
I'm surprised
So,
Chelsea didn't get hurt.
yeah. So then we have them setting up for an interview with Kevin Owens, which was going to happen. And was like, oh, that's going to happen. So then they had like a little Nakamura thing, which was really funny because earlier in the day they showed Triple H hands on trying to tell Nakamura how he wanted Nakamura and the people to shoot Nakamura's entrance. And it was very interesting because it was like he had a vision and he's talking to Nakamura, he's talking to the cameraman, and he's like, yeah, I want you to shoot it like this. I want you to do this. And when you come out, you stop here, you do this. And it was really fucking interesting because it's like you don't really get to see the behind the scenes shit. And this was from Triple H's actual Twitter account. And you don't get to see him like do stuff like this, but you know he does. And it's like, damn, this was actually fucking like he was really hands on with the whole new Nakamura change. Like so
I liked it.
that was kind of fascinating.
Yes.
So then we had Byron interviewing Bianca and Naomi about the Jade situation. And Bianca kept saying, yo, I'll find out who did this to Jade. I'm gonna kick their ass. And Naomi was like, yeah, it's on site. And I was like, yeah, you know you're the person that did this, right?
It's one of y'all. It's definitely one of y'all.
No, it's definitely Naomi. It's 100% Naomi. And the more and more it moves, like with Naomi not winning and moving on in the tournament, I'm like, all right, it's definitely Naomi because she has nothing else to do. It's definitely gonna be her.
Okay.
So then we had Nakamura, and Nakamura comes out. He was supposed to be having a match, and LA Knight's pissed off. He was like, no, 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 we're not gonna have a match. He was like, you think that you're badass, and I want this title match. Then Andrade comes out, was like, no, 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 fuck that. It's gonna be me. Then all of a sudden, the bloodline just comes out. Tama, Solo, and Fatu just come out and beat the shit out of LA Knight and Andrade. They fucked them up. And then the three of them fucking surround Nakamura. Nakamura's just looking at him and he just starts drooling black goo, and they're like, you know what? I'm not even gonna fuck with this guy. I'm not gonna fuck with him. I'm just gonna let him go. Nakamura slithered out the ring, and the Bloodline just proceeded to beat up LA Knight and fucking Andrade. And Solo said, "Acknowledge me," and it's not over. And it was just like, damn, like Nakamura just got out of the way. What the fuck? All right, that's cool.
Yeah, you see somebody spitting up black goo, like you're gonna probably back up too.
Yeah. So then we get a backstage with Ciampa and Johnny, and Ciampa's like, "Yo," he was like, "What the fuck, dude?" He was like, "You better not let me down now." And Johnny's like, "Dude, I'm not." So in that segment, Dominic was talking to fucking Nick Aldis.
Yep.
Dominic's looking to be traded. So, huh. Dominic's another person that's looking to be traded. This thing is, it's going to be fun because we're like, I'll talk about it later why it's going to be more fun than people think it's going to be.
Okay.
So then we get Kevin Owens, and he's talking in the car, and he's like, yo, he was like, I know I'm supposed to go in there for an interview, but fuck all that. I'm not going back in there. I'm sitting out in my car. Fuck you, Michael Cole. If you want to talk to me, you have to come out to the car. And so Michael Cole's like, what the fuck? So we get back and we're having a tag team match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns for the WWE tag titles. This match
They
was
got their match.
so good. This match was so good. Like everything about this match was so good that it made like it popped everyone online at the finish because it was so good and it was done so masterfully because Ciampa's basically being a dick, Johnny's being a nice guy, and Ciampa's being a fucking dick.
Yep.
So then they have a little beef, they have like a little miscue, and Ciampa gets mad. Johnny's still in the ring. Ciampa goes and grabs a chair, and the referee's like, "You can't bring that chair." And like the moment he grabbed a chair, I knew exactly what was about to happen. Like I knew every move from then on out. I was like, they're about to win the fucking titles. He grabs a chair. The ref is looking at him. Johnny nut shot Saban and then super kicks Shelly. And then he just looks at Ciampa and Ciampa and him do meet in the middle. They laugh and smile. 1, 2, 3. We got new tag champs.
That was hilarious.
So, did you see this coming at any point?
Saw it coming a mile away. I mentioned it on podcast. I wanted to say like weeks ago and shit like that. I don't trust Johnny.
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't because that was fucking dope.
Cause like the week before when Ciampa was going like starting like his heelish thing, you pointed out Ciampa had on the black heart jacket. So
Hmm.
like evidently he was going back into the black heart. But that
Hmm.
week that Johnny was trying to be nice and like with his friends or whatever, I noticed he was wearing the same clothes he wore when he turned on fucking Aleister Black.
So, yeah, that was smart. Like that was really smart.
Like if it's
And
not that exactly, it was something similar to what he wore.
but it like I didn't really want this, but it worked. Like it worked because it literally almost came out of nowhere.
Yep.
So then we had Michael Cole come out and get in the car with Kevin Owens. And this like a lot of people missed this. A lot of people missed this part. So Michael Cole and Kevin is talking. And he's like, yo, what is your problem? Why are you like this? So Kevin starts going down the reasons why he's like this. So then Michael Cole goes, yeah, but like Cody, like Jay Uso, Jimmy, Sam, he's like, your best friend Sammy. He like went back to him. And Kevin goes to retort everybody. Kevin goes, yeah, Cody's a snake. He was like, Jay, he was like, yeah, that's his family. But like that guy hasn't changed. He's the same fucking person. And Jimmy also is just like an asshole. And he just like he talked for like 5 minutes and then he goes, oh, and Sammy, I'll get back to that later. And he just moved on and was like, yeah, it's coming. And that's why I was like on the podcast, I was like, that's exactly why I think Kevin Owens was the one who tagged Jay Uso this week. Because he's so close to Sammy, and Sammy did all of this for him, and Sammy won't do shit for Kevin.
Yeah,
And with this trade window open, who the fuck knows what's about to happen? I'm telling you, it's coming. WrestleMania, Sammy versus Kevin. It's coming.
100%.
So that was good. And this whole Kevin and Michael Cole thing was great. Like it
Yes.
was back and forth. And then Kevin kicked Michael Cole out. He kicked him out of the car, and then he called him back. He was like, Michael, one more thing. And Michael Cole goes to say something to him, and Kevin just rolls up the window and pulls off. And Michael Cole is just standing there like, this asshole. So then we get back to the inside. We see Gunther with the world title shaking Nick Aldis's hand, and Carmelo Hayes is like, yo, what the fuck, man? He's like, yo, I want to do blah, 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 blah. And Nick Aldis is like, no, that's not happening. He's like, well, you know what? Monday Night Mellow sounds really good. And Nick Aldis goes, you know what? It would be good if you went over there and bothered fucking Adam Pierce. But you know what? I got something for you. Like, just wait right here. And then Mello's like, yeah, guys, you see, this is how you get stuff done. But Nick Aldis went back in the room. That was hilarious. So Mello is now also trying to work this trade.
Yeah.
So everybody's looking for something. So then we get Cody versus Chad Gable. And as this match is going on, all I could think about in my head was this is how it would feel if Cody was actually wrestling Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Like Chad is so good and Cody is also good. So most of the match, Chad worked over Cody's ankle. Then at the end, he took off his boot. Chad taking off of Cody's boot, worked over the ankle. Cody finally bounced back, hit the crossroads, pinned Chad Gable. And then after the match, Kevin Owens comes in while Cody's still down, looks at him, steps on his foot, steps on it again, and then starts fighting him. And this was such a nice touch by WWE. Kevin and Cody are fighting on the outside, but they get to the right where the fucking barrier is, where the fans are. There's a cameraman playing it right the fuck there. So he's right there in act like getting all of this action while they're fighting at the barrier, right in front of the fans. And it just looks so cool. I was like, that's a great shot.
Yeah. They whoever they hired to do like all their shots now, like give that like person a raise.
That shit was so good. I was like, oh my god, like that was done perfectly. Like holy shit, like that was masterful. Like WWE really was on point with that. And that's some things that you have to worry about when it comes to fucking stories. Like AEW needs more stories to draw you in and make you go, wow, like I want to know what's going to happen here. Wow, I want to know what's going to happen here. I need to know this. I need to know that. It needs to be more stories. And I know that you're going to say, oh, but they have stories. They don't have compelling stories. How about that? We'll go with that. They don't have compelling stories.
That works.
Yes. So that was that. So now we go to NXT. And I know you're like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, deadline was this week, so this is our deadline coverage.
Wonder how many of y'all actually remember that shit.
You people. So, how did you like Deadline?
I loved it. Good.
Okay. So, the show started off with the men Iron Survivor match, and we didn't know who the fifth person was. There were rumors, but the funny part, this rumor was like so far funnily off that made me go, haha, that's happening. Because earlier in the night, Fightful had reported, hey, Obafemi is like he's not hurt. He just went back to Nigeria to hang out with his family. There's nothing wrong with him. They're just waiting for plans to use him. And like when that report dropped, the first thing in my mind was like, oh, he's a fifth man. Like I didn't even think anything other than that, like, oh, he's a fifth man. And he
Yeah.
was. So Oba gets in the match and it was a really good match. I'm gonna say the women's ones were better. This was a
Yes.
really good match, and it wind up Obafemi getting 3 wins. And if Javon had two, if he would have pinned Obafemi at the last second, it would have been 3-3, and it would have been tied. Javon Evans, seconds off, didn't get the pin. Obafemi wins.
I felt bad for Javon, but congratulations to Oba though.
And Nathan Frazier got his nose busted, so that plays into something later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we had Lola Vice versus Jada Parker in a Raw, well, NXT Underground match.
Yeah, because it was Raw at one point. Like I was about to say, you know what? You're right.
This match was also good, and Jada worked over Lola's hand. She made Lola hit the thing. She fucked her up, and I was like, oh my god, Jada's gonna win. Jada's gonna beat Lola. But Lola came back and choked out Jada Parker. So Lola Vice is now undefeated in NXT Underground.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Yes. And they had a backstage and they were interviewing Javon Evans. Javon Evans was like, yo, he was like, that was a great match, blah, blah, blah. You know, fuck, like, I almost had it. And then Wesley was like, yo, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was like, it was like, why are you so chill? And he was like, listen, Doug. He was like, it doesn't matter. He was like, and then Wesley just proceeded to just punch him in the face, and they just started brawling. So then we had the tag team match: Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne. Because of Nathan Frazier's injuries, it felt like this could, it possibly could, it could happen, it could happen. Nah, nah, nah. Fraxium won.
When is it gonna happen?
Well, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. So then we had the men's world title match, main event, Ridge versus Trick Williams. And yeah, yeah, Trick Williams beat Ridge. After everything Ridge did, Trick won. Trick still the champion.
Yay.
We have Ava in the back, and she says, "You know what? Wesley versus Javon Evans this week on the show. Also, the week after this week, we're going to have we're going to be out in another show. They're going to be out doing somewhere. I forgot where they said they were going to be." Then she mentions New Year's Evil is going to be in LA. We're doing New Year's Evil in LA, and all of a sudden, Tiffany pops up. So Tiffy pops up and was like, yo, you know what? That's cool. We could do New Year's Evil in LA. And you know what? I just had a Tiffany epiphany. And she goes, You know what would be great if I was there to cash in. I'm going to cash in La La Land. And when she said that, all my fucking radars went off, and I'm like, oh my God. She just said exactly what I was thinking, and I know it's gonna happen now. As soon as she said, yeah, I'm gonna cash it in La La Land, I was like, I know what's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. This is the perfect thing to happen. This is fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. Do you want to know why it's fucking perfect?
I was just about to say, tell the rest of the class.
Because on January 6th, Raw goes to Netflix, and that's in LA. It's they're both of these
Ah,
shows are going to be in LA, and you need something huge on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. What would also be huge to add on to the tons of shit that they're going to pour on this? A cash in, a
yes.
fucking cash in for the title. As soon as she said that, I was like, oh my God, that's happening. So that's definitely happening. Now, as
That's
far as the
perfect.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom thing, since this trade window is open and NXT, Raw, and SmackDown are all switchable, there's going to be a lot of space for tag teams and women wrestlers and other wrestlers on Raw and SmackDown because they're both going to 3 hours. They need to be loaded up. So
Yeah.
NXT is going to get stripped of all of their cool shit, and Nathan Frazier and Axiom, since they're a great tag team, they have said multiple times they want to face Murder City Machine Guns. So have the New Day. So them going to the main roster seems really, really possible right
Okay, I'm down with that.
now. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people switching to the main roster. And you asked me earlier about Trick losing to Obafemi.
Yes.
Trick losing to Obafemi probably going to happen because Metaphor is going to get called up to the main roster, and Trick is not too far away from Metaphor. So yeah, he's getting called up too.
Okay. I like that. Like I like all those call ups. Cool, cool.
On to the last match, which was the women's Iron Survivor. That was fucking awesome. Julia is now the number one contender. How do you feel about that?
That's awesome. Like the way this match went, I would have been okay with any of them winning. So like, but her versus Roxy again, yeah, I'm down for it.
For New Year's Evil is going to be Julia versus Roxy for the World Championship.
Yes.
So that was the show. And any last words?
Goodbye.